Hi, welcome for our online training sessions. There are two questions which we will get in the interview point of view. And it's a very simple, it looks like very simple, but it's an important. The question is, can we create a business unit without reference data set? I don't have any reference data set, but I want to create a business unit. Is it possible? No, it's not possible because reference data set is mandatory field while creating the business unit. For example, if we go to the task here, business unit, and try to create a business unit, we'll find 4 fields here. When we try to create, we'll find 4 fields here. Right. This is reference data set. Set, wherever you find this word called set, nothing but a reference data set. Okay, reference data set. Okay, so here we have to attach. By default, we'll find common. By default, common reference data set is there that we can go for assign. So if you assign this common reference data set for your business unit, what is the meaning of that? In this reference data set, whatever departments, jobs, grades, and locations are there, those will be associated with this business unit automatically. Associated means attached. Okay, so this is one question. So reference data set is mandatory to create the business unit. The second one is, while hiring an employee, is it mandatory to have a business unit? Can we hire an employee without business unit? Generally, whenever we go for hire an employee, let's go for new person, system will ask you the first enterprise legal entity. This is not exactly legal entity. It will ask us the legal employer. Okay, so the moment whenever we go for hire an employee, the first organization what system will ask us is the legal employer. This it won't say even legal entity, also legal employer. Okay, so this is required. So you are hiring an employee or you are hiring a worker at what level? Legal employer level we are going to work. After legal employer, it will ask you the business unit. Then after that, it will ask you the department. After that, which job? After that, which location? After that, which grade? Then what is the position? Then who is the manager? Then work day, nothing but office timings. A lot of other assignment information it will come. Okay, so here once we provide legal employer, let's say I'm going to specify KPMG Consulting. Okay, so I'm just mentioning the employee name, first name, last name. I'm going a little bit faster because it's very simple things. Number of times we might have hired an employee. These all are additional fields someone has added. We call it as descriptive flex fields and extensible flex fields. Descriptive flex fields and extensible flex fields. Click next button. We got the problem here. Yeah, you have entered invalid social security number. The format is wrong. 4 digits is required. Click next button. Now, this is just person information. So actual employment details will capture here. Already we have specified the organization, nothing but legal employer is this. Legal employer is this. Now we can find here, business unit is a mandatory field. Without business unit, you cannot hire an employee. It's not possible. So we are supposed to choose our details. Right. Let's go for it. Select your BU, KPMG Consulting. While creating this business unit, what we have done? we have assigned reference data set called common reference data set. That's why we will find the jobs and the departments, grades and locations which are associated with this. Okay, so we will find here not the department. Department we can choose something HR department, human resource. Location we can say Redwood City. APMC location, right? Choose this. Go for complete. This is how we can say that business unit is mandatory. Business unit is mandatory when we are hiring an employee. Reference data set is mandatory when we are going to create a business unit. So these two important questions we'll be getting. Then it's very simple, but at the same time, a little bit confusion. Like we cannot say that because when we are applying as a experienced consultant, they will expect like this. So it all will come because of the practice. So the moment when the instance is refreshed, don't feel that it's got refreshed and we lost all our setups. Let's sit and do these all setups right from the beginning without having any help from the documentation and without having any video help also. If you are able to configure that successfully, the moment when you are in front of the interviewer, if they ask us, like, can you go for explaining the enterprise structure, or is it mandatory to have a BU, or can we assign multiple BUs to the same legal entity? Or they may ask in the reverse, can I assign legal entity to BU? This is reverse, right? Legal entity is a higher organization. It's a master organization. Within the legal entities, we'll find the business unit. Same thing, ledger also. We have to attach legal entity to the ledger, not the ledger to legal entity. Right. Same thing, LDC also. We have to attach our legal employer, PSU, to LDC. Okay. So then only we will be able to find. So that hierarchy must be there. That is required. Otherwise, if we tell that, or if we get little bit, get tension, or then they'll find you are not that much experienced consultant. So how we can speak confidently in front of the interviewer when you are applying as experiences, when you do it a number of times. This is all entire process. Some people think that if we create 5 business unit, what will come in? That entire task will be on your mind. So that when you are explaining, then you can say, including all the field names, business unit, legal entity, this all details. Okay. For example, if I want to create a legal entity, in that task, I can tell all the fields like legal entity country, legal entity name, legal entity identification number, start date, end date, legal employer checkbox, PSU checkbox, payroll statutory unit, associate with another PSU checkbox, another field, and then we have place of registration, legal address, tax identification number, tax reporting unit number. How I am able to, I'm not a genius. I'm just normal. Like the reason why I'm able to tell, number of times I'll go for practice. Even though I'm a trainer and I'm going to work even still, every 2 months, I used to run the entire cycle, because in the real time when we are working, we'll be working for a specific component. Right, we'll be forgetting. For example, they assign payroll module, and they have asked you to check the post payroll errors, and you are working on the component. Completely you will be working on that component for 1 month or 2 months. After 2 months, if they ask you, can you configure an options management options plan? Oh, I need to check. I forgot, because last 2 months completely I'm working on payroll. So that's why it's required for the people who are working in the real time to refresh the entire setup cycle and as well as the testing for hours. It means for the people who are applying for a job, every 3 days is required, not every 2 months. Every 3 days we have to do cycle. That entire process should come into our mind completely. Okay. Thank you.